So the currency in Zimbabwe is hyperinflating again. This is the fifth time in Zimbabwe's history that its national currency has collapsed. So meanwhile, inflation has risen above 750%. So this is not 2007. This is June 2020. The currency in Zimbabwe is starting to hyperinflate again, and this is why they shuttered the stock exchange. Is because it's 4xed in a very short amount of time. Because the people of Zimbabwe have lived through this before, and they're trying to get out of the fiat currency. They're going into the stock exchange, they're going into assets, they're going into Bitcoin. But here's what they did too. They blocked this mobile payment site EcoCash, which I believe you can also buy Bitcoin through. Yeah, EcoCash is also commonly used to buy Bitcoin. So it's like they're trying to stop all ways for people to get out of their local currency. And they just reintroduced this new currency in 2019. So it's only been like a year that Zimbabwe has had their own currency, which they used to have a basket of national currencies, including the Japanese yen, the US dollar, and the pound sterling. So, I mean, it's just bizarre. And I mean, the exchange rate, it used to be like pegged to the dollar 1 to 1. But when they made the switch back in 2019, it basically hyperinflated overnight to where it took 390 Zimbabwe dollars for $1. So it immediately you know basically took away the purchasing power of the people overnight when they did that back then. I mean, look at the stock exchange. Look from March to today. I mean, 500 to 1788. So it's almost 4x. So the run we've seen in US stocks is nothing compared to the Zimbabwe stock market. I mean, it's just like straight up. So that's why they halted it, because they realized people were buying in to escape the fiat currency to hedge against inflation. I mean, the problem is there's so many other ways, right? Like you could buy food and water, you could buy Bitcoin, you could buy precious metals, and I mean that's what they're trying to do. But it's kind of interesting. EcoCash said on their, I believe on their Twitter account, that they're gonna resume operations anyways. Like they're just gonna keep allowing people to use their app. So I think that's a great thing that they're doing. And a couple days before this, Zimbabwe tries forex auction system dating back 16 years. So basically, after struggling to stabilize the currency, Zimbabwe on Tuesday turned to a foreign exchange trading system it last used in 2004. So basically, they're trying to stabilize, artificially manipulate the price of the Zimbabwe dollar to make sure it doesn't keep inflating. But it's like, how many times does Zimbabwe have to do this, before they stop this nonsense? I mean, it's crazy what's going on in Zimbabwe. And basically this is a foreshadow to what's coming to the rest of the world, right? Like, I mean, in the past 6 weeks or so, we've seen three currencies hyperinflate. We've got, Libya, Iran, and now Zimbabwe. I mean, that's crazy. It's like, what? It's like every 2 weeks a currency is hyperinflating around the world. That's way faster than normal. I mean, normally it's like there's one hyperinflation every 2 years in the world. So now we've had like three in about a month. I mean, that's crazy growth. That's already going to be 6x, right? If you extrapolate that to like 2 years, that means we're going to have at least six, but it's probably going to be more because we're probably going to continue seeing hyperinflations around the world. I mean, this is what's coming to the US. This is what's coming to all fiat currencies. I mean, what if they locked up the US stock market? What if the US stock market never goes down? I mean, that's a scary sign, because that means that's basically the start of the hyperinflation, right? If it never goes down again, they see it as a hedge against inflation. Like, that's scary too. But I think the biggest issue coming is food prices starting to rise, which we're already seeing in meat prices. They've already tripled in the past 6 weeks. There's even certain fruits and vegetables like olives. They've doubled in the past week or so, the price of olives. Like, if food goes up, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was listening to a podcast about the guy that wrote a book on the Zimbabwe hyperinflation back in the 2000s. And basically you couldn't buy food anywhere. And that's what triggers it, is when you can't buy food anywhere. That's what, hyperinflation or inflation leads up to that point. But that's what really kicks off a hyperinflation, is when people can no longer buy food, right? And we're already starting to see that, at least here in the US. And I fear that that's going to be the trigger point, is when food starts to run out. And I don't know, second half of 2020 is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a really crazy year. But anyways, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more financial and economic videos. I'll be covering more stuff as it happens. And yeah, thank you for watching.